Well, hello there. How nice of you to pay us a visit here at the fourth wall. My name is Danny. Now, I'm just a humble film critic and I don't know much, but what I do know is this. Now, if you've seen the trailer for Rian Johnson's new film, Knives Out, well, then the experience of watching that film is not what you would expect. Now, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Now, don't worry now. I will tell you. Just relax. Grab yourself a sweet tea, a mint julep, and just listen to this old coot give his review for Knives Out here at the fourth wall. Now, stick around, won't you? All right, you got me. I'm not from the South, but look, I figured if Daniel Craig, famous British person, could pull off a smooth Southern drawl for an entire film, I could give it a go, but never again, probably. First of all, if you could take a moment just to give a like and subscribe, wherever those buttons are on whatever screen you're viewing this, we'd really appreciate it. We're just a bunch of friends who love movies, and when you're starting out a channel like this, every little bit helps. On to the review. So what can I say about Knives Out? Well, as I mentioned, the director is one Rian Johnson. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because he's also the director of the absolute least divisive Star Wars film ever made, The Last Jedi. We all remember enjoying that film, or at least being reasonable in our criticisms. No army of incel-style internet trolls needing to take a jab at it every time it's mentioned, right? Good. Moving on. When watching Johnson at work here, I'm much more feeling his influences not from a galaxy far, far away, but of film and literature of several decades past, but with a heaping dose of modern-day commentary tossed into the mix. If you've seen Johnson's previous work, Brick, then you know that he has a real love for a mystery and for film noir. The style and tone of this film, however, is a mélange, a mixture, if you will, of several different styles. The most obvious is that of a whodunit, style made so popular by the works of Agatha Christie and the like, where someone has died and everyone is a suspect. But truly, this film goes far beyond that. First of all, at times it's really funny. And I can tell you, it is not a spoof of mystery films like Clue or Murder by Death. Knives Out is a beast of its own, only taking pieces, paying homage to the films that have come before it, but ending up as something truly original by the time the credits roll. What first caught my attention when I first heard about this movie was the cast. The cast. This is a cast of actors, most of them legends in their own way. Almost every face on screen is someone that you know and love, or someone that you'll say, God, I've seen them 1,000 times. What is their name? Like Frank Oz, legend from the Muppets, voice of Yoda, is in this thing for like a hot minute. First, we have the great Christopher Plummer. The great Christopher Plummer, playing the patriarch of a very well-to-do family who has made his fortune as a very successful mystery writer. Since it's in all the trailers, I don't consider it a spoiler to say that it is his death that propels our story forward. The family that he is the head of is filled with such names as, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Toni Collette, Don Johnson, and Captain America himself, Chris Evans, being awesome. Also in the mix is Ana de Armas, pardon my pronunciation, as a healthcare worker who seems to know more than she lets on, perhaps. And at the top of the pile of these legendary actors is James Bond himself, Daniel Craig, playing the Southern drawl-speaking private detective with the fantastic name, Benoit Blanc. Every actor gets their time to shine here, and there is truly no weak links in this company of villains and fools. On a technical level, I had nothing but praise for this film. It is shot smoothly and creatively, showing you exactly the little details that you can keep in the back of your mind. The dialogue is sharp and is really one of the main reasons to come and see this thing. The aforementioned performances, wonderful. Now, I would note that this is not a perfect film. A minor note of criticism is that I think this movie is just a bit too long. Maybe 10 minutes could have been shaved off to make it just that much tighter, as I felt a little drag here and there. There are points towards the end when it feels like it should be wrapping up, but as these types of stories go, there's still a turn or two to take. The other criticism I will let you all know about. It didn't bother me so much, but may not sit well with some audience members. Now here's the thing. If you don't like talk of politics thrown in with your entertainment, this movie might rub you the wrong way from time to time. Without going too deep into spoiler territory, there are several scenes of this very white family bickering over politics from various angles, while their hired help, who tend to be ethnic minorities, are well within earshot. In real life, this might make you either squirm with discomfort or become absolutely furious if it were happening at your Thanksgiving table this year. In terms of political commentary, perhaps the closest comparison that I could make would be to another movie with some, shall we say, less than subtle satire, Get Out, which I love. I suppose in today's day and age, the message would fall more on the liberal side, as the main message is one of kindness towards your fellow man, but mostly it just throws a lot of shade at the rich. After all, Knives Out takes place in the current day, in the current political climate. These are rich white people, and they are written as such. With that criticism out of the way, I want to finish with two absolute highlights of praise for this film. First, the set design for the main location of the house is spectacular. This is supposed to be the house of a mystery novel writer. It's like they just splattered the walls with the inside of that writer's mind. Everywhere you look is something macabre, a hidden door, a weapon on the wall, including a heavily featured wheel of knives that I just want to have it in my house just so I can sit in front of it and look amazing. Now, there are also creepy pictures, there are dummies on every wall, in every corridor. The house that I was reminded of mostly was oddly not like the mansion from Clue or anything from Agatha Christie. It was the mansion from this obscure little film that I highly recommend that you seek out called Sleuth, starring Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine. It's a fantastic film. Now, the second absolute highlight that I want to point out is not in the film at all. It is the trailer for this film. You'll notice that I have danced around talking about what really happens in this movie, outside of the obvious, someone is dead, everyone is a suspect. Now, the reason I'm dancing around all that is because that's what the trailer did as well. Most of the trailer is shots from the very early, like the first act of the film, with only little intriguing brief moments from the later acts thrown in, and they are out of context to boot. I spent most of the movie saying to myself, I have no idea where this is going. And how rare is that experience these days? Lately, I've noticed that trailers usually give away way too much from every act of the film. Basically, if all you did was watch the trailer for this movie, it isn't going to be what you expect, and that's a good thing. Bravo. In conclusion, I loved this movie. I want to go see it again. Soon. I would give Knives Out 9.5 grisly murders out of 10. I can say that if you like a good whodunit, if you like razor-sharp dialogue, if you enjoy any of these main actors, or if you've been complaining that all we get lately is sequels, superheroes, or weird Disney live-action remakes, go buy yourself a ticket as soon as you can. Go on. Once again, if you enjoyed this review, please give us a like and subscribe to keep up to date with reviews and news on pop culture here at The Fourth Wall. My name is Danny. This is The Fourth Wall. I'll see you at the movies.